So there's a big debate in the business world whether you should or should not have your pricing on your website. So what do you think you should do? Should you have your pricing on your website or not? Well, in this video, I'm going to break down why I think it's a good idea to have your pricing on your website and why I recommend you think about doing the same. And even if you have a business model where your pricing depends more on a client by client basis, so in other words, it depends on your client's needs, that's okay. I still recommend having a pricing page. What I'm saying when I talk about pricing page is not having a specific list of packages or different items of how much different things cost, although you could do that if you wanted to. But what I'm really talking about when I mention having a pricing page is to talk about the pricing, to just talk about it, to just let people know what the pricing range is going to be, what affects the pricing, why the pricing could be more, why the pricing could be less, and maybe even talk about what other people charge when it comes to pricing, or maybe talk about any other extra things they might need so that there's not any surprises when they start working with you. So that's what I'm talking about when I say pricing. So it can work for a business that has set packages, or it could work for a business that has custom pricing. So if you're looking to buy a product or a service, what is one of the first things you do when you go to that business's website? Well, one of the first things you will do is have a look at the price. And what do you do if you can't find the price anywhere on the website? Well, most likely you'll be frustrated. Are you going to think, oh great, they don't have their price on the website, so I'm going to have to schedule a call to find out how much it's going to cost. I really look forward to having that call. Or are you going to think this is frustrating and I wish they could just have their price on the website before I actually need to schedule a call? So the first big reason why I recommend having your pricing on your website is because it provides a good user experience. Now, if you're thinking, but if I have my pricing on my website, won't that put some people off from working with me, especially if the pricing is maybe too expensive for them? Well, if that's the case, then what you need to do first is provide people with value so they understand why your pricing is what it is. So I don't just recommend having your pricing on its own and that's it, but educate people as to why you charge what you charge. And then by doing that, you're going to be able to provide more value when you actually talk about the pricing. So one of the ways that I do this in my own business, and what I recommend for clients to do as well, is have a video sales letter. Basically, just have one video that goes through how you can help your potential clients. What is that big problem that you solve? What are some alternative solutions to solving this problem? And why is your solution better than those alternative solutions? And then once they watch that video and they understand the value that you can provide them, then it's not really such a big deal if people know your pricing because they already understand what it is that you do and how you can actually help them. Now, the second reason why I recommend you have your pricing on your website is because you're going to get better quality prospects who schedule a call with you to learn more about how you can help them. So if you have an appointment with someone that knows how much you charge versus someone that doesn't know how much you charge, which appointment do you think is going to be a better quality appointment? Well, with the appointment that knows how much you charge, it's going to be a much better quality appointment because at this point, they know what it is that you do, they know how you can help them, they know how much it costs. So really, they're just scheduling that appointment because maybe they have a few more questions that they need answered that they haven't found the answer to yet. Or maybe they're just scheduling that appointment because they're ready to work with you. And this is really just a call to go through what are the next steps. And in my own business, before I used to have the pricing on my website, I would have to go through a whole sales script to get people to just work with me and educate them as to the value that I provide. But now, because I have a video that people watch first before scheduling an appointment with me, and I have the pricing on my website, every single person that books an appointment with me, they already know what it is that we do, they already know what it is that we charge, and they just maybe have a few extra questions that they haven't found the answer to yet, or they're just ready to work with me straight away, and they're just looking for the next steps. And that means the sales calls that you have are going to be much better quality. They're even going to be shorter as well because people already know whether they want to work with you or not. And all you really need to do is now close them and get them to go to that next step. And that means you waste less of your time because you're only going to have calls with people that are already interested in what it is that you do. And your prospects are not going to waste their time as well because they're only going to book a call with you if they already know that they actually want to work with you. So if you're looking for better quality appointments, definitely think about having your pricing on your website. And the third reason why I recommend having your pricing on your website is because it builds transparency and trust. And here's something that I've seen again and again when talking to potential clients. They've said thank you for having your pricing upfront on your website. And at first I was a little bit surprised by this. Why are they saying thank you? But it's because so many other businesses do not have their pricing on their website, which means maybe these businesses change their pricing depending on who they're talking to. Whereas if you have your pricing on your website, that's your pricing. You go through exactly what it costs or what affects the cost of your pricing. And as I said, it builds up honesty, transparency, and trust with the people that you're speaking to. And something else to think about is if you don't have your pricing on your website and they want to know how much your service or how much a typical service like yours is going to cost, they're most likely going to go to Google and find out how much the pricing will typically cost for this kind of service, which means they could end up on one of your competitor websites if they do talk about pricing. And then once they're on your competitor's website, there's a chance they won't work with you, but they'll work with your competitor instead. So either way, they're going to find out how much it costs one way or another. They're either going to book a call with you and then find out how much it costs, which could potentially waste your time and their time if they're not even a good fit. Or they could go to your competitor's website and book a call with them because they do talk about pricing. So you could potentially lose out on some leads as well. So these are the reasons why I think it's a good idea to talk about pricing. And again, you don't have to specifically mention how much your price costs if you don't have specific packages. Instead, you can just talk about what affects the price for your particular service. Now, if you're interested in getting better quality appointments with your ideal clients, then be sure to check out this video right here, which goes through how you can do that in more detail.